You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriots. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? Welcome to the HighlyEvolvedPodcast Podcast. My name is Stefan. You can find me at Minds.com, BitChute, Twitter, Gap.com. Most importantly, like, share, subscribe. On that note, guys, let's start the show. All right, on this episode, I want to point out this article, this episode in which Tucker Carlson analyzed the left and what kind of craziness the left been going through. Now, we all know how crazy the left is, right? They've been saying a lot of crazy stuff this past week, months, years, right? But for some reason, they've been getting more crazier and crazier. In this article that I'm going to read to you guys, maybe a video I'm going to play, I'm not sure YouTube will cover it, but we'll see how it goes. It's going to describe how crazy the left is by Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson will analyze how crazy the left been going around for the past, who knows, months, weeks, saying all these outrageous things. Without further ado, let's start the podcast, all right? Let me put out the article. Give me one moment, all right? I just want to take this time to tell you guys, without you guys, this channel would not be possible. So on that note, guys, I really appreciate it for offering me this time. I greatly appreciate it. There you go, the article. The article stated that things are getting crazy. Things are getting dangerously crazy on the left. Watch Tucker Carlson, latest analyst, to do it now. Watch it 3 times if you're smart. All right. I don't know YouTube, but it is Fox News. But let's read the article. Fox News host Tucker Carlson began on Wednesday night. Tucker Carlson tonight shows what the monologue, excruciating, reckless, unhinged political attack from elite on the left keep people stirring up about the race in order to cover up the real division of the country, and the class, right? People, watch part 2, all right? The behavior right now, right? The way the Democratic Party is turning off a lot of people. Not just a lot of people, are turning off moderates, Democrat as well. Not just moderates, but people who's long-life Democrat, they're switching from party because they're possibly been too radicals. All right, I don't know. Let's play this. Maybe I'll get away with it. But.
The point at which rhetoric forces action. When do words become incitement? At what point do political attacks become so reckless and unhinged that you can no longer heal the divide they create with politics and force people towards something darker? Well, it's hard to know exactly when that point is, but the left is getting very close to it. We can give you many examples of this, but we'll begin with this exchange from last night on MSNBC. This is frequent guest Malcolm Nance accusing the President of the United States of sending secret messages to neo-Nazis.
These people feel that they are the foot soldiers and executors of what the disenfranchisement that the white race is feeling, and Donald Trump is giving them subliminal orders in their head.
Subliminal orders. Whatever his faults, you can be certain that Donald Trump is not doing that. Trump is the least subliminal politician in American history. He has no subtext. That's part of the problem, of course. If he's thinking it, he's saying it.
I want to pause for right here. They try to say he's a Nazi sympathizer, Hitler. If you're not aware that there's another video about an MSNBC, interview that said the reason why he's going to lower down the flag on August 8th because 88 symbolizes, it represents HH, which represent Hail Hitler. Now, why would, look, Donald Trump is a firm supporter of the Jews, right? His family member married a Jew, right? One of his best business partner is a Jew. His son-in-law is a Jew. His grandchild is a Jew. Now, why would a guy who's so passionate about Jewish help Benjamin Netanyahu, right, to move the embassy to Jerusalem, and now to try to associate him with Hitler? Come on now. See how crazy they gone? But let's finish the video.
The claim is ludicrous, but at MSNBC, it wasn't even the weirdest thing uttered on their air yesterday. That distinction goes to Frank Figliuzzi. He's a former FBI official turned talking head conspiracy nut. He used numerology to explain the president's coded messages. Watch this, and keep in mind, it is entirely real. We have not edited a single word.
It's the little things and language and messaging that matters. The president said that we will fly our flags at half-mast until August 8th. That's 8/8. Now, I'm not going to imply that he did this deliberately, but I am using it as an example of the ignorance of the adversary that's being demonstrated by the White House. The numbers 8/8 are very significant in neo-Nazi and white supremacy movement. Why? Because the letter H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, and to them, the numbers 8/8 together stand for Heil Hitler.
Got that? 8 is a racist number. That's what they're telling you on MSNBC. In other words, things are getting dangerously crazy on the left. How crazy? Well, on Monday, former Jeb Bush spokeswoman Nicole Wallace explained that President Trump is planning a genocide of Hispanic Americans. Watch this.
He ramped it up again to the invasion, the warning people of the caravan, and words like infestation. What do you do with an infestation? With an infestation, the conclusion is to attempt an extermination.
President Obama used the power of the...
To political attacks.
Pause that. Infestation. He was referring to the rats infestation. He was not referring to people. He was referring to the infestation in Baltimore, which was an infestation of rodents due to the leadership of Elijah Cummings. He was pointing out his stupid leadership. All right? It had to take the community of conservatives to clean up Baltimore this past weekend. All right? So it's the truth. You call it what it is. Donald Trump is the type of guy, he call it out what it is. He's not the type of guy who hold anything back. All right? It's ridiculous.
Monday, former Jeb Bush spokeswoman Nicole Wallace explained that President Trump is planning a
to the invasion, the warning people of the caravan, and words like infestation. What do you do with an infestation? With an infestation, the conclusion is to attempt an extermination.
President Obama used the power of the presidency to try to pass comprehensive immigration reform with the Latino community, Latino leaders.
No, he did not. He didn't try to do that. He did a legal move, an unconstitutional move to impose DACA, right? If he has so much power at that point, why he don't just give them citizenship, right? If Obama was so good, it was so protective of illegal immigrants, why just give them DACA? Why just go all the way and give them citizenship, amnesty? He had the power at that time. Not only had the power, he got a super majority, right? During his election, the Democrat has a super majority. Right? He had the House and the Senate. Now, why did he use that time wisely? Why he didn't use that time to benefit these people? Why didn't he use that time to help African Americans? Why he didn't use that time to help illegal immigrants? Because at that time, he got the super majority. He could get a lot of things done during his time, but he chose not to. Right? He could have got anything passed so easily. But why he didn't do that? They didn't point that out. And Nicole Wallace she's retarded. All right, let's continue with the other video. Let's hope I don't get deplatformed. Hold on.
Obama used the power of the presidency to try to pass comprehensive immigration reform with the Latino community, Latino leaders at the table. You now have a president, as you said, talking about exterminating Latinos.
Exterminating.
Yeah, but we had a president by droning Syria, killing a bunch of people, deplatforming my whole first world country. I mean, the only first world country in Africa, Libya. He did that. All right, Obama did that, drone striking, killing people. At least Donald Trump wasn't killing people.
Latinos. Keep in mind that Donald Trump, as a factual matter, got a higher percentage of the Hispanic vote than Mitt Romney did. Turns out that not all Latinos believe in open borders. A lot of them don't. Some of them agree with Donald Trump on immigration. And yet the left is now telling you and demanding that you believe that anyone who supports Donald Trump is a white supremacist and must be destroyed. Now, they're telling you that for political reasons. This is election season, obviously, and they want more political power. But there are other reasons, too, that they're saying this. Ever wonder why rich people seem the most hysterical on the subject? Ever notice that it's the highest paid people on television who are the most determined to convince you that white supremacy...
Right, and the most offended is the people who's most offended are these rich celebrities, socialist Democrats. All right, for some reason they're the most offended. You don't see all these people in the constituent are equally offended as these Democrats, and those who are most offended or extremely or equally offended as these Democrats, as these celebrities, are the one who's brainwashed, who have extreme cognitive dissonance. Right? They don't understand how to distinguish things from apart. They don't know how to question anything. They don't know how to make their own judgment. They have to have these celebrities think for them. All right? Those are the people that are incapable of thinking for themselves. When you have an argument with these liberals, right? They're so emotional. They let your words to have so much power over them. They're so offended by words, but not by people's actions. All right? These are the type of people we're dealing with. These brainwashed idiots, the Democrats, these liberals.
Is America's biggest problem. Why is that? Simple. Every minute you're angry about race is a minute you're not thinking about class, which of course is the real divide in this country. Working class people of all colors have a lot more in common, infinitely more in common with each other than they do with some overpaid MSNBC anchor. And if you were allowed to think about that for long enough, you might start to get unauthorized ideas about economics. And that would be disruptive to a very lucrative status quo. So they whip you into a frenzy of racial fear so that it never enters your mind. It's a diversion. Everyone else hates each other. They get to keep their money. Pretty tricky. Unfortunately, it's also destroying the country. This is the path to civil war, obviously. So we want to take a second to pass on a sincere message to official Washington, and particularly to our colleagues on the other cable news channels. And it's this: please, for the sake of the nation, calm down. Yes, America has problems. Yes, racism is one of America's problems. But so is a fading middle class. So is a terrifying drug epidemic that's killed hundreds of thousands of Americans. So is a national debt that is growing by $1 trillion a year. These are huge problems, and people know that. People know their country is in decline, and it's making them turn to new political leaders. Donald Trump was one of those new leaders. Elizabeth Warren and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are a couple of others. This is a time of frustration, and it's a time of change. It's a hard time for America. But this country is not on the brink of genocide. It's not even close to that. This is not a white supremacist country plotting the slaughter of its own people. It's a kind country full of decent people of all races who, like all people everywhere, make bad decisions from time to time, but they mean well, and they generally try their best. So going forward, give them the benefit of the doubt, even when you disagree with them. Maybe especially when you disagree with them. These are your fellow Americans. Cut them a break. They deserve it. And remember, the alternative is disaster. Joe Concha writes about media for The Hill, and he joins us tonight. Joe, in that spirit, I mean, I don't want to increase the temperature or traffic in even more out.
President Obama.
I think that's the last video. I'm sorry, guys, if you guys hear airplane in the background. For some reason, there's a lot of airplane coming through my neighborhood right now. For some reason, I don't know, it's a bomb attack or some military drill or something. You can hear like a lot of airplane. That's why you hear me increasing the volume. I think you can hear it right now. But anyway, let's finish reading this article. Nothing that rich people, particularly in the media and the politics, are more hysterical than the subject of white supremacy. America's biggest problem, Carlson speculated, the reason why we couldn't be because it keep people arguing about race, right? And not thinking about classes, which courses there's a real division in this country, right? Exactly. That's what they like to point out. They like to point race as an issue, right? This other issue in there, there's homelessness, jobs, people are broke, living in their cars, homelessness and all that stuff, and they keep focusing on race. Right? The last thing people are focusing on is race. They're trying to think about putting food on the table, right? Where is the next meal is going to be? Where are they going to sleep? It's not the race. Race is the last thing on most people's minds right now, right? Working class people of all colors have a lot more to common, infinitely more in common with each other than they do with some overpaid MSNBC anchors, Carlson said. If you were allowed to think about that for long enough, you might start getting unauthorized ideas of economics. Exactly. This wasn't even Nicole Wallace. She overpaid. She's a ridiculous clown. All right, which to Carlson would be disruptive and very lucrative status quo. So we're whipping into a frenzy of radical fear in mind, he said. In a division of everyone else hated each other, they get to keep their money. Pretty tricky. Unfortunately, it's also destroying the country for real. That is a path of the Civil War, obviously. All right, for Fox News host implored everyone calm down. Everybody, that's racism is a problem that's so fading, a middle class terrifying epidemics, and so on. A national debt that is growing by trillions of dollars a year. Tucker's ended monologue by phrasing America that far from being a white supremacist country and a dark genocide, brink of genocide, a full descendant of people of all races who deserve a benefit of the doubt, even when they disagree with them. Below the full unedited transcript of Tucker Carlson was the opener, and this is a transcript. You guys can read it if you want. Just pause the video. All right. On Nicole Wallace. All right. It's proved that the Democrats like to use race as an excuse for everything. They're getting ridiculous, and people are going elsewhere to look for leadership. This is why that Hispanic voters, not all of them, Donald Trump got more Hispanic voters than Mitt Romney. Donald Trump got more black voters than Mitt Romney, all right, because of how the Democrats function right now, right? And Tucker Carlson is exposing these people. There's something wrong with the Democratic Party right now, right? They are so left, they lost touch of the constituents. And that's kind of sad for a party that would like to say that they're for the people. Obviously, they're for their own interests, especially the media. Media is very toxic right now, especially mainstream media. Don't trust what they say. I would go as far as sometimes don't even trust what Fox News say, because Fox News is a part of the mainstream media as well. But yet again, they're better than what's this? MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS News. All right, but I digress. Let me know what you think. You think Tucker Carlson is correct on this? You think he's wrong? Let me know what you think. Because of one saying, YouTube don't want to monetize my channel because I'm unscripted and it's unedited. So I'm scripted that you can hear planes over my head right now. All right. If you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe. Because when you like, share, subscribe, it encourages me to make more videos. When I make more videos, I saturate YouTube algorithm. When I saturate YouTube algorithm, all right, and make my video more broader to the masses. Within those masses, I might enlighten people to think for themselves. Because that's the point of this channel, to get people to think for themselves. They have to agree with everything I say, but at least think for themselves. Because group thinking is dangerous for society. Group thinking is communism, Marxism, dictatorship. Those are group thinkers. Communism, Democrat, those are group thinkers. They implement policy that ruin people's lives, taking freedom away, taking wealth, taking prosperity away from people, right? Because of that, I'm not taking any donation because I figure it's a good enough incentive for me if you think for yourself, all right? Because when you think for yourself, you're not affecting me. Now, when you're a group thinker, you affect me by doing all this stupid policy, all right? So that's the point of this channel. So on that note, guys, thanks for listening. This is the HighlyEvolvedPodcast. I know your time is very precious, and I try not wasting your time. I'm sorry for the airplane humming over above my head. I'll try to do better next time. On that note, guys, you have a good day. Peace.